Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Dee and this is Dee's Bookish Musings, where I'm sharing my love for reading at my own pace. Welcome if you're new here. I do invite you to subscribe down below for more bookish content, and if you are returning, thanks so much for coming back. I really do appreciate your continued support. So in this video, I am going to be showing you all my classic collection. So I don't have a whole lot of classics. I'm gonna show you my non-black classics. These books that I'm gonna show you that are non-black are books that I've been slowly adding to my collection, maybe over the last couple of months. Kind of like I bought a few of these, maybe even like a year ago. And so I do want to expand my palette as far as reading is concerned. I want to read more diversely. While my collection of books are primarily by Black authors, Black stories, I do want to stretch a little bit and read more diversely. And so I plan to do that starting this year. So first I'm going to show you my classic collection that I have. They're mostly Penguin classics, white authors. I'm going to show you that first, and then I'm going to show you all, maybe I should just, I'm going to start with some of the new release books that I have bought along with some black classics. So I'm going to show that first. Okay, so here is my stack of books that I'm going to show you. Just in case you're wondering, yes, I did purchase more books. I did, but I'm trying to be more responsible and buy only books that I'm really interested in and not be so impulsive, you know? And so these books I was really interested in, like the author, for whatever reason. You'll see. I'll talk about them as I go. All right, so the first book is With Love from Harlem by Rashonda Tate. And so it was just something that I was interested in. I did watch a documentary on I forgot her name, Hazel Scott. I almost said Rashonda Tate, but it's Hazel Scott, like maybe a year ago. And it was a really good documentary. I learned a lot about her. So I would love to dive into her book. I'm not going to read the book right away because I like to give it some time. Because it's a new release, I don't like to read it right away. I will give it some time and eventually get to it, hopefully in the next couple of months. We'll see. But this one I had to get also because I saw that it was on sale and it came in paperback. It was released in a paperback form. That usually does not happen. So that is a good thing because I do not like to buy hardbacks. When they come out, I'm usually not buying them when books first come out just because I don't like hardbacks. And so I was thrilled to see this one was $15 in a paperback. So I went ahead and picked that one up. So that's a new release. And the second new release that I think I got a good deal on this as well. Maybe this was $12 or something like that. $12 to $15 for another paperback, which I was thrilled to see. This is Where the Wildflowers Grow by Tara Shelton Harris. She is the author of One Summer in Savannah. I do have that book on my shelf. I hope to read it soon. I've got 3 books now of hers. This book is a chunker, and it's also, I forgot what you call this, this decorated pages. I forgot. But this book is so cute, and it's going to be perfect for like springtime to read. So we'll see if I get to this in the spring or maybe the summertime. So that is Where the Wildflowers Grow. All right, so the next 3 books I'm going to show you are classics from 2 Black authors. So the first one is James Baldwin, Another Country. He is one of the authors that I want to dive into in 2026. I am going to start with his biography. It's going to be slow going because his biography is 450 pages. But I think I want to start with that one just to learn more about him before diving into his works. But this one I'm going to add to the collection. If I get to this one this year, that'll be great. If not, then we'll read it next year. We'll see. It just depends. I'm going to be mood reading his books after I read his biography. So the next book that I purchased because I read The Street by A.M. Petrie is The Narrows. I consider this a classic because it was written in the 40s. And so I haven't heard a whole lot of people talk about this book. So I'm not sure if it's as good as The Street, but The Street I think was her first novel. This was the second novel, I believe. I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll see how I like this. The Narrows, Ann Petrie. And then the same author, this is Country Place, Ann Petrie. And I've had these books, I bought these books shortly after or before. Yeah, I bought these books, I think, before I even read The Street because I just knew The Street was going to blow me away, which it did. So I wanted to get more works of hers. And so honestly, I'll probably read one of her books before I get to anybody else's books. All right, so those are the Black classics that I have purchased recently in the last couple of months, and then my new purchases. So now I'm going to dive into my classics, non-Black authors. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first book that I have is Stoner by John Williams. All right, so Stoner is So Stoner is something rarer than a great novel. It is a perfect novel, so well told and beautifully written, so deeply moving that it takes your breath away. That was by Morris Dickstein, the New York Times Book Review. So Stoner, and I'm not going to read like all of the synopsis, okay? I might not read the synopsis for any of these more than like a few sentences because I like to go into my books blind, especially when I know absolutely nothing about them. So it says William Stoner is born at the end of the 19th century into a dirt poor Missouri farming family, sent to the state university to study agronomy. He instead falls in love with English literature and embraces a scholar's life, so different from the hard scrabble existence he has known. And yet, as the years pass, Stoner encounters a succession of disappointments. Marriage into a proper family estranges him from his parents. His career is stymied. His wife and daughter turn coldly away from him. And another reason why I want to diversify my reads is because I'm drawn to historical novels anyway. And so a classic written in the 1800s is right up my alley because these books usually are full of drama. So this one is by Jane Austen. Jane Austen is a new author to me. I actually have another edition of this book. I'm not going to bring it out, but it's more colorful. But I am in love with the Penguin Classics. This is a new love for me because at first I thought classics, to be honest with you, especially like non-Black classics, were boring, just like the boring book cover, boring story. That's what I initially thought. But then I started to appreciate the simplicity of the cover. You know, the black and white, and then the whatever portrait or graphic is on the cover is very simple. And so, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And just a little something that says, with its light and bright and sparkling dialogue, its romantic denouement, and its lively heroine, Pride and Prejudice is Jane Austen's most perennially popular novel, the love story of Elizabeth Bennet and Fitzwilliam Darcy. So also a lot of these classics involve some romance, right? Some romance mixed in with like just humanity and life struggles and stuff like that. So I think we can all relate to that, you know, because we're all human and we all have gone through something. So the next one is Animal Farm. And I showed this book in a recent video. This is by George Orwell. This was a really good book. If you haven't read Animal Farm, I do recommend it. Well, it's not 77 pages, I thought it was, but it's a little over 100 pages. Yeah, love this book. I am going to reread that one. It's about the hierarchy of class, race, religion, things like that, how society works, told from the point of view of animals. Yeah, really good book. Okay, the next book is Dangerous Liaisons. This book, I'm supposed to read this. I actually started this because I wanted to compare this to the Black retelling, which is by Sophronia Scott. The name of the book is going over my head right now. This is it right here, Unforgivable Love by Sophronia Scott. So this is the classic, and this is the black retelling, okay? So I did start this book, but I have not finished it. I am going to hopefully finish it soon. I might do it at the end of the month or beginning of April. We'll see. So many books, y'all. So many books. Okay. All right. So that is Dangerous Liaisons. And I talked about this book in a previous video. I will link it above so you can check that out if you are interested in what I plan to do with both of these books. So the next book is a fairly new purchase. It is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This involves, let's see. So it says, Anna Karenina has beauty, social position, wealth, a husband, and an adored son, but her existence seems empty when she meets the dashing officer Count Vronsky. She rejects her marriage and turns to him to fulfill her passionate nature. So that sounds very scandalous, again, involving romance, some drama. Yeah. It's a chunker. It's over, I want to say 800 pages. Well, not quite. Well, yeah. It is approximately 817 pages. It's got decal edges. This is a used copy, but it's in perfect condition. I got this from Thrift Books for a really good price, and I can't wait to get to that soon. We'll see. Then I've got Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Love the Penguin Classic cover. The black spine, the black book. Mary Shelley's chilling Gothic tale was conceived when she was only 18, living with her lover, Percy Shelley, on Lake Geneva. The story of Victor Frankenstein, who plunders graveyards for the material to fashion a new being, but whose botched creature sets out to destroy his maker. So that sounds very interesting. The next one is a book by Emily Bronte called Wuthering Heights. And I think this has just been made a adaptation on Netflix, I think. I don't know. But this one also involves, romance gone wrong, things like that. Emily Bronte's novel of impossible desires, violence, and transgressions is a masterpiece of intense, unsettling power. It begins in a snowstorm when Lockwood, the new tenant of Thrushcross Grange on the bleak Yorkshire moors, is forced to seek shelter at Wuthering Heights. There he discovers the history of the tempestuous events that took place years before, the intense passion between the fondling Heathcliff and Catherine Earnshaw, her betrayal of him, and the bitter vengeance he now wreaks on the innocent heirs of the past. So we'll see how that works for me. And then this one, I actually had another copy. I do have another copy. It's a blue copy, and I didn't like the blue. And so I went ahead and purchased the Penguin Classic because, it was only like $7 or something like that. Charlotte Bronte again, Jane Eyre. This one is a lot of people's favorite book of all times, and so I can't wait to read this one. And so it says it's a novel of intense emotional power, heightened atmosphere, and fierce intelligence. Jane Eyre dazzled and shocked readers with its passionate depiction of a woman's search for equality and freedom on her own terms. Its heroine Jane endures loneliness and cruelty in the home of her heartless aunt and the cold charity of Lowood School. Her natural independence and spirit proves necessary when she takes a position as governess at Thornfield Hall. And that's all I'm going to read. So these books are set in that Gilded Age. I'm looking forward to reading this one. And so the last book that I want to show you all is 1984 by George Orwell. I need to read this one ASAP because I just do. It is a classic, and it involves more like politics, social commentary. Winston Smith toes the party line, rewriting history to satisfy the demands of the Ministry of Truth. With each lie he writes, Winston grows to hate the party that seeks power for its own sake and persecutes those who dare to commit thought crimes. So this is more political, I would think. I think this one is on the banned book list. It also has a new introduction by Dolan Perkins Valdez. If you didn't know, she wrote, she wrote this book, Winch, and then she wrote another book, Take My Hand. Yeah, I want to see what she has to say about this book. This is the 7th anniversary introduction that she wrote, 75th introduction, which is quite a couple pages. Dolan Perkins Valdez. So can't wait to read this one. So many books, y'all, so little time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any of these books, let me know. What book should I start with the like classics that I've shown here. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care and be blessed. Bye.